So ESPN put out a way too early top 25. They just updated it today, and they have Kentucky basketball ranked. They have them ranked number 23 now, albeit behind a lot of different SEC teams, some of which I question whether or not they should be ranked behind, but that's neither here or there. We won't focus on that today. What I want to focus on is the question ESPN asks. Now, they have a question for every single one of these teams that they have ranked about kind of what could be holding them back or what they wonder about heading into this season, right? And the question with Kentucky is, how long will it take Mark Pope to put the pieces together? And this is what they have to say. While there are other teams in the rankings that underwent rebuilds, none were as significant as Kentucky's. 0 players returned to Lexington from last season, and Pope is bringing only 1 with him from BYU. There are a lot of intriguing players and ample experience on the Wildcats roster, but it could take time for them to mesh. And then they have a projected starting lineup: Kerr Kriisa, Otega Owe, Jackson Robinson, Andrew Carr, and Amari Williams. I'll just go ahead and say this. That's a lot better than the CBS Sports starting lineup projection that CBS Sports had here just a few weeks ago. Much better. I think Lamont's going to start at point guard, but everybody else I think is pretty straightforward there. Owe, Robinson, Carr, Williams. I think that's your starting 2 through 5. I think Lamont starts at the 1, but I think he'll split playing time essentially with Kriisa. But how long will it take for Mark Pope to put these pieces together? If you've listened to this show recently, you've heard me kind of talk about how excited I am to see these guys kind of gel and go out there and play an actual game, because I believe with their experience, they will be able to actually mesh things together. If anything, my big concern is can Kentucky kind of maintain what could potentially be a hot start, and can they focus on March whenever it gets there, and are they able to execute as such? I think this Kentucky team is going to have a very clear identity. I think they're going to get out in transition, play with tempo, and they're going to shoot a ton of threes. They're going to be a very high-octane offense, and I think they have the pieces to succeed through that. We've talked about all of these different guys. You can go through here, and the 4 of the starting 5, I think, fit this mold perfectly. Kerr Kriisa, one of the best shooters in the entire nation. Otega Owe, a really solid two-way player that was a good three-point shooter and also really solid just overall offensively with the Sooners. Jackson Robinson was the prized possession at BYU, 6th man of the year in the Big 12, led the team in scoring at 14.2 points per game. I think he's going to be a massive central piece on this year's squad with the Cats. Andrew Carr, another really solid stretch player who can step out to the three-point line and knock down outside shots, also a plus defender on top of really solid post moves. And then you have Amari Williams, who kind of fits into this Mark Pope system as well, because the big thing with Williams was the fact that he could go out there and he could pass really, really well. I think that's what Pope highlighted when discussing kind of what they were looking for in a big. He's physical, 3-time conference defensive player of the year at Drexel. You see across the starting 5, you see passing, you see shooting, you see everything that you want for a really solid high-octane offense, a high-floor offense, I should say. And then you have Kobe Brea coming off the bench also, who is objectively, I think, the best shooter returning in college basketball. You've got a lot to be excited about here. A proven identity with players that fit the mold almost perfectly. Now, you have questions, right? I have different questions about Mark Pope and this team. Can they be more sound defensively than Kentucky was a season ago? Can the rim protection actually step up there and make plays outside of just creating some blocks, which is what Kentucky had with their plethora of 7-footers last year? They had a lot of blocks, but their rim protection percentage-wise was really, really poor. My concern about Kentucky lies almost exclusively on that side of the ball. On top of maybe some rebounding concerns, I think Kentucky may be average there. I hope it's not an issue as we move down the road, but I don't necessarily think how long it will take Mark Pope to bring these pieces together is like the foremost question on my mind. Again, it's really more focused on the defense. I think that with their experience and with their chemistry, it seems that they have already gained this offseason. I think Kentucky's going to come out firing. Now, again, does that mean they will maintain that as the season goes on? I'm not sure. I think a lot of people are going to have to adjust once they finally see this Kentucky team on a court and they see how they want to operate. Of course, Pope's system has been splattered across the internet. Of course, coaches are going to be able to identify kind of how they may want to pick and choose to stop Kentucky's offense, but the personnel together is something that they have not seen. Duke, I think, is going to really see some things from Kentucky. Will Kentucky win that game? That's not a prediction that I'm making today, but I really do think Kentucky, as far as chemistry, as far as putting things together, I don't think it's going to take as long as people currently expect it to. I think the non-conference slate early will be utilized as kind of a showcase for what Mark Pope and company could do for seasons to come. I'm excited about this upcoming season. I think Kentucky's going to get off to a hot start. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Is ESPN's question valid? I think it is, but it's not like the top priority for me. You can leave all of that in the YouTube comments below or at Locked On UK if you want to go there as well. All right, I want to wrap up the show here talking about what could potentially be the next Kevin Durant. He has been offered by Kentucky basketball, and that is Baba Olatoden. I believe that's how you pronounce his name. Oladoten, excuse me. Before we dive into that, though, I want to tell you guys about our friends over at 5 Hour Energy. You can grab a 5-hour energy shot to stay alert, to watch all of your favorite games, or if you stayed up late to see that intense overtime game, you can take a 5-hour energy shot in the morning so you can start your day. You can get in the zone with 5-hour energy shots. They give you a feeling of alertness and energy you need to kind of lock in, especially through the weekends, which are really, really busy. For me, there is zero sugar, a convenient portable size. It's the perfect pick-me-up for getting stuff done. And then they have flavors galore over on their website: watermelon, grape, tropical burst, berry. Grape's my favorite, but you can try them all. You can also go and get 12 or 24 packs. You can mix and match your flavors. I would encourage you to try every single one. They're all phenomenal. And if you go to 5hourenergy.com, that's the number 5hourenergy.com, and get some 5-Hour Energy product today, you can use my promo code LOCKEDONCFB to receive 20% off your order. This offer is only valid through September 30th on one order and cannot be used with other promotions. The code is not good on subscription orders. So again, LOCKEDONCFB, that's your promo code to get 20% off over on 5hourenergy.com. All right, wrapping up the Tuesday edition of Locked On Kentucky. Lance Dahl hanging out here with you, talking about Baba Oladoten. I believe that's how you pronounce his name. The #1 overall player in the 2027 class. That's right. We're talking about a very, very young recruit far down the road. I think we'll see things pick up steam, but I wanted this to be on everybody's radar today because Kentucky has given him an offer, a new scholarship offer, according to a Sea of Blue. 5-star forward Boba Oladoten announced his offer over on Instagram. He is a 6'8", 165-pound small forward, ranked as high as first overall according to ESPN. On3 has him slotted 6th overall in the 2027 class. Rivals and 24/7 Sports don't have an evaluation on him just yet, and he plays at James Hubert Blake High School in Maryland. The big thing about his game is his face-up ability to knock down face-up shots and his ability to knock down jumpers inside and outside the arc. At 6'8", at 15 years old, incredible, I mean incredible fluidity and mechanics shooting. He played, actually, if I'm not mistaken, on like a Team Durant circuit. He played for Kevin Durant alongside a bunch of other high-profile high schoolers. He is the real deal when it comes to pure scoring. Somebody that I think could be elite and electric to watch in a Mark Pope system, running up and down the court, finding him beyond the arc. You can find him inside the arc for dunks. He would be, 3 or 4 years from now, somebody I think Kentucky fans would be really, really excited about. Apparently, he is receiving offers from just essentially everybody and their mother already, and he's a 2027 recruit. Texas, UCLA, Tennessee, Mississippi State, Indiana, Michigan, USC, Louisville, Cincinnati, Ole Miss, Florida State, and Virginia Tech already on this kid, offering him. He is somebody that I think we're going to need to continue to monitor. Potentially the next Kevin Durant, plays just like him as far as his shooting ability goes. I have loved all the highlights I've watched just as far as watching him being just a pure scorer. So let me know what you think in the comments below about Boba Olatoden and Kentucky basketball's recruiting.